Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Greg Furman and these are the market positions for October the 17th, 2017. Now our first trade for tonight is going to be in the Forex market. We're looking at the US Swiss franc currency pair. Now, not a lot of information or a lot of economic data, on the docket this week, so we should just range trade for the most part with a slight bias in favor of the US dollar. So as we can assess here, looking at the VantagePoint software, we're basically just running along this 18-day predicted moving average from VantagePoint. That number is currently coming in at 97.27. Our neural index is turned back up. Our predicted short, medium, and long-term differences are pretty much sideways here, but we're firmly above the zero line, and our predicted RSI still holding above 50 line, but not a lot of momentum here. So basically, we're just more or less range trading, at least for now. Now, once again, much like what I've said in this week's Forex Weekly Outlook, that I felt that actually that CPI data was very strong on a year-over-year basis, and it actually favors the US dollar to some degree, along with that stronger non-farm payroll number. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to convince the market to buy US dollars, but at this particular time, they don't appear to be willing to sell them either. So when we look at our short-term crossover from VantagePoint, a very important crossover, we can see that we're crossing back to the upside. Our medium is down, but our long-term is still up. This move lower absolutely seems corrective, with a lot of activity around that 97.27 area. So from here, guys, all we have to do is utilize that all-important daily report from VantagePoint once we have an overall bias as to what we want to do. So we're looking for the market to pull back exactly to that number that I just discussed, 97.27. We're then going to target 97.83. Now, this isn't a trade that we want to keep a very large stop on here. I would give this stop about a 60 to 70 pip stop loss, but ultimately, if we're correct and it is going higher, then we should easily be able to move back up over 98. So the intraday high is 97, in the 97.80 area, guys, but we do have the potential to go much higher. Now, the most recent swing lows that I can see here is, again, down here around 96.60. So I would make sure that all of your stops, guys, are below that area to give the trade a little bit of room to breathe. Now, our second trade for tonight is going to be in the US energy sector. We're looking at NRG Energy, the NRG stock. Now, you may have remembered this particular stock. We were buying this several months ago down in this $14 per share mark. We've had a great big move to the upside, very, very good trade, but I don't think that this particular trade is done just yet here, guys. When we look at our indicators from VantagePoint, we can see that we're just hugging this 18-day predicted moving average right here. That key level now comes in at 25.48. Our neural index is back up. Our predicted short, medium, and long-term differences are all firmly above the zero line. Predicted MACD above the zero line, crossing the trigger here, and our predicted RSI getting a little bit overbought, but we've had a retest of this 60 level right here, and we have failed and moved higher. So all of this is telling me that this particular stock is potentially not done just yet. So when we look at this, we also want to make sure we're drawing our proper trend line in here, and that trend line does intersect with the VantagePoint 18-day predicted moving average. So we don't need a big stop here, guys. Keeping our stop, your intraday traders keep your stops below 25. Your medium and longer term traders keep your stops just below the $23 per share mark. But when we look at those individual crossovers, our short term is moving aggressively back to the upside, as is the medium term crossover and the long term. So everything is pointing that this higher on this particular stock, even though we've had these big moves. It doesn't mean that it's done yet. This is what most traders will not do. They will not buy high and they will not sell low. But with that close of 26.62, we're looking for a minor pullback to 26.34. We will then target 27.08. Now, again, if this stock can get moving, the energy sector has taken a real beating over the last year. So one could say that these stocks are still undervalued at $26 per share.